Guys, welcome back to another video. Henry here. Today we're going to be taking a look at iOS 14 hands-on and exploring every new feature. This video will be divided into two parts. We have general system features. That's things like just getting a call, wallpaper, settings, not really apps. And then we have apps. So timestamps below. Feel free to use those if you want. And let's begin. Alright, so the first and I would say most important feature that was introduced in iOS 14 is basically it's more customizable on the home screen. And you can see that already. This is not an iPhone, right? It's an Android. No, it's an iPhone actually. You might have already known about widgets, and now I can finally use them. So basically, this is what widgets used to be. You know, just little boxes. That's not what they looked like. They were only when you swipe left, not on the home screen. Now you can put them on the home screen if you would like. It's really simple. You just tap here, tap that plus sign, and then you can add any widget you want. It's really neat. They're interactive. So we have, this is called a Smart Stack. It's essentially a collection of widgets, and you can swipe through it, and I have a bunch of things on here. You can have as much as you want. There will be third-party widgets eventually. They're not here yet, though. So we also have, I have this calendar one. Guess what? I have no more events. That's a lie. I'm recording. And then we have, I just have a stocks one and a weather one. And the second one, which I just gave you a glimpse of unintentionally, is called the app library. So essentially, if I tap these dots, there's my app pages. Now I can hide or show these. And if you hide all of them, or some of them, even if you don't, those apps will now be in this app drawer or app library, basically copying Android. That's all this update does, is copy Android. I don't know why. They couldn't come up with anything else, though. So we have this very nice looking app library with all your apps. It automatically sorts them. Pretty cool. So there are ways. My home screen is all widgets, so I access my app using Siri, or just using the search or the app library. Most of the time it's Siri now. And yeah, so that's basically the home screen. It's really customizable, and I feel like that's kind of the main intention for this update. So let's move on to the next thing. I am very frustrated with Apple. When I just was trying to show you guys the compact UI, and what that is enables you to multitask on your iPhone, and when I got an incoming call, the screen recording ended. Thanks, Apple. That's really nice of you to do that, because now I can't show you. So, I'm not going to be showing you the call UI, and I can describe what that looks like. Instead of taking up the whole screen, it's going to be a little box that appears, and it says incoming call. You can accept or decline. You can swipe down to make it full screen, swipe up to make it go away. And it's a lot better because it doesn't take up the whole screen. So I can't show you that, or the FaceTime call UI, which looks the same, but I can show you one thing, and we're going to do that. So this is called picture-in-picture, and I can't talk. And basically, what this is it lets you watch a video while going into another app. This is really cool. So if I tap on Watch the Keynote, it works on any video in Safari right now. And you know what? I'm going to watch the Apple event, because that's cool. So if you see this icon next to the X top left corner and you tap that, we are now in picture-in-picture mode. You can rotate the phone. If I pinch in, I can move it around, resize it, just like that. You can also kind of tilt it. That's a fun thing to do. I always like messing around with that. And we can just click the home button, or in your case, swipe up, to go to any other app. So I can open the weather app, and look at that. I'm watching the keynote, checking the weather. I don't care. I can do both. And if we tap this icon on the right, we can go back to where we were. And it even works on live video. So if you're watching Twitch in Safari or YouTube Live, it works with that. And it's really nice. It's really useful, especially if you're taking notes on like a video or presentation. It's really helpful to be able to just do that and not have to keep switching tabs. So that's a really nice feature, and I think a lot of people are going to use that, and it's going to be pretty cool. The next thing on our list is the search feature from the home screen, and it's just getting a few minor updates that we can take a look at. So if I swipe down, it's basically just kind of small design tweaks. But now what you can do is if I type in here, so you can actually use this to open apps. So this works very well for me because I've taken off my app pages around the app launcher. If I don't want to scroll through that, I could just type in here. Let's start typing app space store, and I cannot type. You can see it gets highlighted there, and down here instead of search it says go for the blue button. So that is just like a quick launcher for apps. You can also, I believe, use this for websites. Let's test that out with my website. Typing in my website here. You can see this comes up because I've been to it, and we can tap go, and it goes to my website. So that works well. Again, just fine little tweaks on that. Nothing really huge, but hopefully it will be useful for people in the future. Now the next thing is Siri. Siri gets a complete redesign, and it basically works with the compact UI. So if I want to do Siri, and I have a feeling this is going to shut off the screen recording, so it might. Hello, how are you today?
I'm fine. Thanks.
Okay, he is fine. That's wonderful. Siri is now compact. You can see that little dot appear. You can tap it, so it just stays there, I guess. It doesn't go away. Hi! The louder you talk, the bigger the circle gets. Hi! There you go. Okay, so that's the compact UI. Siri is also supposed to be 20 times smarter. Except when I asked earlier today, can you use a gift card with Apple Pay? It opens Apple Pay. I'll demonstrate that stupid thing for you now. Can you use a gift card with Apple Pay?
I found this on the web.
What? Okay, so earlier it opened the Apple Pay app for some reason. It's also supposed to interpret web answers more and I guess read those out to you. You can also now send audio messages. Send an audio message to Cam.
Okay. Recording.
Hi, this is a test.
Great. Send it to Cam.
There you
Okay,
go. So you can
it's
send
sent.
audio messages directly from Siri now, which is nice. I don't think you had access to that before. You can ask Siri to share your ETA and maps. And I believe you can translate more languages, and there's new voices as well. So that's it for Siri. So now we move on to apps, and our first app of today is iMessages. iMessages gets a pretty big redesign. It's not like the whole system, but quite a bit. You can see already it looks different. Up the top here, the larger icons, those are our pins, so you can pin and unpin people. It's basically just keeps them at the top, even if they're not recently messaging with you. They are at the top, and it also gives you cool animations, so when they're sending a message to you, you can see that next to their icon, or when there is a message, it looks a lot nicer. So you should pin your favorite contacts. Now how you do this, you just swipe to the right on a message. Oh, and I did not mean to do it that way, but you can do it that way, I guess. You can also just tap the pin icon. To unpin, you just press like that. And messages also, you can edit pins that way. Edit our name and photo. It's a new menu there. A lot of new features coming to group messages. So we can show that here. And basically, if we tap info, you can see there's this new photo, which is everyone's contact picture together. But if we tap change name and photo, you can set it to these cool icons, which is nice. You can set it to a custom photo as well. This whole menu is basically redesigned, which is nice. Memoji also gains a few updates. If we tap on that, you can now add a mask. And there's also more age updates, which is nice because I am not an adult. I'm not like a young kid, and I'm not an older person either. So there's now many different options for in between, and that's pretty nice. Another cool thing is mentions. It has come to messages. This does work in two-person messages for some reason. I don't see the point in that, but so if we type someone's name here, you can see it just turned gray. If I tap that and tap the picture, now it's blue. That tells us we're mentioning him. So you can actually set messages to only notify you when your name is mentioned. So this is a test for my vid. So it's still in bold, and only he will get that notification, which is cool. Now there's also inline replies. So if you force touch a message, click reply, you can say another test. And it actually is like connected to that message, so it's one separate conversation, which is kind of cool. So you can see there's that little bracket there, and if you select that, maybe it works or something. But basically just showing you're replying to that message specifically, which is cool. And that's it for messages. There are more Memoji design options you can implement, but otherwise, that's pretty much it for the Messages app. Our next app is Maps. Maps is not getting a UI redesign in any way, but there are definitely new features. Let's take a look at the first one here, which is cycling directions. So if we tap on, first of all, let's change this because no one wants to bike that far. That would be kind of ridiculous. But let's just say we're coming from Apple Park. It's still very far, but it's a little more reasonable. And there we go. If we tap on the bike icon here, look at that, cycling directions. So it gives us our time, and it actually tells you how much climbing you have to do up and down. Bike paths and bike lanes includes hills. You can tell it to avoid certain things like that, just very customizable. There is also electric vehicle routing, so it can plan charging stations along your route. However, I'm not sure how to set this up, review this, and I think you actually have to own an electric car to do something like that. Maps, new map is available in more countries, so a more detailed map, which is nice. Location will be better. You won't need internet connection, or if it has poor GPS signals, it will be better. And yeah, so let's move on to our next app, which is Open Translate. That's right, there is a Translate app now on the iPhone, competitor to Google Translate possibly. So you can see up here, we can select our first language and the language we want to translate to. This is a video. What? Why did it not? This is a video. You can see it's really not accurate at all. Let's try that again. This is a video. Apparently you have to shout at it. So you can see it translate to Spanish, just like that. And you can have it play out, and it looks like this is a glitch. So yeah, this is, you know what? This is good documentation, because now I can report this to Apple and tell them there's a bug. If you turn it this way, and this is going to look funny on the recording, and then you tap this full screen icon, it's attention mode, so you can go around and say, hey, like try and start a conversation with someone who might be able to help you, and you just rotate it. You can set favorites, and I clicked the wrong one. You can also, if you tap on the language, you can download all of these languages to use them offline. So I can talk to someone in Korean, and I don't need internet to do that, which is pretty neat. Alright, so we also, our next app is the Home app, and I'm going to try and find that. Let's see if I can do it without, bet you it's here, oh, there it is. So the Home app gets a few minor updates. The only one I can show you is that it has a status bar, and you can see this accessory is not responding. If we turn on a light, it's just a status bar to show you everything that's on right now, everything that needs attention, things like that, which is pretty neat. And let's go to our next app, which is Safari. And let me try and find that. open Safari. Alright, so we can see here, it looks perfectly normal. It's not a huge redesign. Everything that's new you're going to find when you tap this options button, which looks like 2 A's. So, the first thing that I can show you now is privacy report. If we tap on that, it's telling us all the sites that are running trackers, how many trackers they prevented, show more. Okay, that's just information on it. And you can look at the trackers these websites have. So if we look at mine, my website has no harmful trackers. It's just things like Google. It's all Google Analytics, just so I know how many people visit my site. I'm not getting any information. But you can see, like this one, they're running ads. That's a lot of trackers. We don't like trackers, and Safari blocks all of these, which is awesome. And the next thing is pretty cool, and it's web page translation, something Chrome has had for a long time, and it's finally coming. So if I navigate to this site that they demoed on the keynote or in the preview, and it's in Spanish, and it's loading. If we tap the options button, you see translate to English. Because it knows that is my language, I'm going to tap that. And now it's in English. So just to prove that it was Spanish before, if I turn it off, view original, now it's in Spanish. Really cool. It's in beta right now. Safari also has password monitoring, so it reports if your passwords have been involved in a data breach, something like that. That's pretty nice. Car key is coming, and I think they are making cars already that have it. So that's pretty cool, and that should hopefully work well. App clips, we don't have any details on that yet because there aren't any right now you can access. So, let's go to the App Store. You know what, let's just do this by section. Why not? So let's see, anything new here? No. Nothing there. The App Store is getting a few small changes. And the first one of those, let's just tap on an app. You see this new line right here with all the information you want, because no one likes scrolling through everything here all the way down to get like what size of app it is. Just like that. It's really quick and easy. Just like that. It's kind of like going down and out when I do that. Interesting. And that's it for now with that app, like when you're opening an app. But there will be new privacy sections, so apps will be required to report what information they collect and share with other companies. If we tap on our profile, and you can tap Game Center, this is a brand new section to the App Store. It's not as good as a Game Center app, but it's better than nothing. So it's basically like the main place for Game Center. You can add friends, etc. And that's it for the App Store. Now, just another small thing. Let's say I want to open the camera app, and we are just going to do open camera. If I open the camera app here, you might just be able to see, if you look in the very top right corner of the phone display, a green dot. That is a recording indicator, and if we swipe up to Control Center, if it'll let me, you see camera. This is just a privacy thing to let you know your camera is being used. Basically the green dot that's on the Mac right there. And it also, in the Control Center, will tell you what recently used it. So green dot is for camera. And if we go to, let's see, voice memos, because who doesn't like voice memos? And we started recording. Testing 1, 2, 3. There is an orange dot right there. So you can see that orange dot next to the GPS location icon. That's to notify you. And if I go to my Control Center here, you see voice memos recently used my microphone. Just a small thing, but good for privacy. We want that. You can now also upgrade to sign in with Apple. This will be useful for me. Once I turn 13, I can basically switch to sign in with Apple from an existing account on supported apps. Accessibility gains a few features, and sound recognition back tap, which you can tap the back of your phone on supported devices. Mine doesn't work with that, and have it run a shortcut, which is nice. Apple Arcade gains a few updates. Camera performance is definitely improved, and I saw this in 13.6, so I hope it's in 14 too. I haven't actually tested that out yet. Health has a new sleep section and the symptoms section that I reported on for 13.6. And a few other minor, very minor things. Music gets a new Listen Now tab. Notes gets a few things, actually. We'll take a look at notes. Say I make a new note. And we're going to call this... What? No, I don't want drawing mode. I don't know why it did that. Alright, test. Okay. This is a test note, and that's interesting because it's not in the title format. I wonder if they actually changed that somehow. It says handwritten. That's a lie. It's not handwritten. But anyways, if we swipe to the right, we can now pin a note, hide and show our pin notes, and unpin them, just like that. This is the my favorite part, I think. And document scan is also getting upgraded. But let's say, I'm drawing right down here. I'm going to draw a triangle. And if I hold when I'm done drawing, look at that. It makes a perfect triangle. I can do this with a circle. I can do this with a square. And I'm just holding at the end there, and it basically corrects it so it's the right format. I can even do it with the iMessages icon. So if I draw that like this, that is not what it was supposed to do. Let's try that again. I think I probably didn't draw that very good. There we go. You can hand draw all of these, and it automatically fixes them, makes them look nice. That is really cool. Photos gets a few just kind of performance upgrades, like faster browsing. Podcast Listen Now is updated. Reminders also gains a few updates. And where is Reminders? I'm guessing it's here. Yep. So if we open up Reminders, and what I can basically do, the first thing you see here, right here, new reminder. So you can now create a reminder without having to go to the list first, which is nice. Also, if we open a shared list, and I'm trying to find one, I guess I can't show it, but you can assign reminders now to people, which is pretty cool. Also, when just creating any reminder, you tap the info button. This has been redesigned, a lot easier now to select what you want it to do. You can flag reminders, things like that. It's smarter, so it's got smart suggestions. And also now, this works for calendar too. New time picker. This is really cool. And I did notice it in calendar. I'm not sure if that was even talked about. And I can show that. Actually, I won't. You get the point. But also, you're supposed to be able to set default email and browser apps, Gmail, Google Chrome, Google, etc. You can't actually do that yet, though. There's no option to do such a thing. So, yeah. Voice memos also gaining a few more updates. If we want to do a recording here, hello, this is a test brought to you by Henry Riley. Please like and subscribe. And then, if we tap the three dots, the ellipsis, and we click Edit Recording, you can now replace sections of the recording just like that, which is really nice. And if we tap this wand, you can enhance the audio, kind of just removes background noise, just makes it cleaner, things like that. And our last app and last thing on the list for today is weather, because weather is important. So weather now gains a next hour precipitation chart, and I'm trying to find a city that is about to rain. Looks like it should. No. Wait, you can do states? What? Why are there states? That's the thing. Wait. How can you add states? That doesn't make any sense. I thought you couldn't do that. Anyways, though, it's adding basically rain in 7 minutes, and you can see a chart of how much it's raining. This has been done before in Dark Sky and AccuWeather. And it also will now display severe weather alerts. This is really nice. And The multi-day forecast right here now displays the precipitation chance. So you can see if it's going to rain, how much. The one they actually didn't even show on their website is this air quality meter right here. That is brand new. You can also find it in Maps, but it's more detailed in the weather app. Alright, so that is all for today. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. I will definitely be doing more iOS 14 videos, tutorials, just reviews, funny things maybe, hopefully, things like that. And if you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate if you leave a like, subscribe, check out my other videos. Have a great day, everybody, and stay safe.